Hello and welcome once more to ITU Telecom World 2011, which is taking place here in Geneva in Switzerland. And I'm talking with Yves Castanou, who is the Director General of the Regulatory Agency for Post and Electronic Communication of Congo Brazzaville. Can I ask you to start with, what do you think are the principal challenges facing Congo Brazzaville as far as ICT technology is concerned?
There are many challenges in Congo Brazzaville. The biggest one is infrastructure, just like all these African countries. As far as Congo is concerned, the last 5 years, there has been a large program in order to build infrastructure with fiber optical network. The last 5 years, we set up a program called Couverture Nationale, national coverage. The government, the president has decided to cover all the countries, all the territory in broadband infrastructure. So it's been a challenge. By the end of 2012, it should be kind of resolved. So it is a challenge still today, but it won't be a challenge anymore in something like 2 years from now, maximum.
Attending this big ITU event, what were your expectations? What did you get out of it? And what will you take back home that you didn't know before? And secondly, is there a key message you'd like to deliver to the delegates and visitors to the event?
When you come to such conference, such international event where there is a lot of vendors, regulators, ministers, a lot of people gathering, personally, we have a lot of expectation. I was turning around. Of course, you see people. This is very key, because at the end of the day, everything we do is always about people, key people. Me, I'm a regulator, so I'm always expecting to see regulators. I'm expecting to see providers, manufacturers, to see the trend, the tendency, the trends, what's going on, what is the next release, the next technology. And here, of course, you have the opportunity to see these many people. But this year, this is just a personal, notice. I don't see a lot of Ericsson, a lot of vendor technologies, manufacturer of technology. We wanted to exchange a little bit with them. What is, for instance, in the region of Africa, what are they doing? What is their plan? What is their rollout? Actually, I was talking to the people of Ericsson, for instance, not here in Congo, to understand. It's good for us to have a vision, not only from Congo, but from the global view, region of Africa, the sub-region Central Africa, where we are, and Africa and Asia. We want to know what is going on. So it's always good to be to this kind of conference. It's good. This year is good, but I was just saying with my people that there is less than 2 years ago, for instance. This is a personal view, just like I say, so I don't want to shock anybody. This year it sounds like there was a lot of politics, which is good. But in order to make this business, you don't only need politics, you need both, And sounds like to me, many effort has been done on politics. I'm not politics, I'm a regulator. So we are interested in technical people, technology, the trend, especially the trend. What is coming in the next 2 years? What is the perspective of the market in next 2 years in terms of application and services? Mostly, we're talking about infrastructure, but you and I, we know that infrastructure it's only the beginning. What about what you do after infrastructure? So this is really, really, really what this year I came in and I was looking for, what is the kind of services that are coming in the next years, application services, application company, what are they doing? How can we adapt to the African model? This is really where we are today. This is what we're looking for.
And what about the key message you'd like to give?
I would just say, just like I'm saying, it would be great if we can have a real perspective on the application and services, okay? We know that broadband network, broadband access is great, but on the top of broadband, you have services and application. So the key message for me is really we need to, for instance, in Congo, we have so many questions on that application and services level. We have so many demand requests that I would see, for instance, the ITU gathering these different players, and this is really my expectation, if you will.
What are the principal opportunities and also the principal problems that you face in extending broadband in Congo Brazzaville, and specifically in the area of mobile broadband?
I think the challenge that Congo is facing is extending, for instance, to the mobile application is, for me, is the same challenge that other countries are facing in their own country. It's really the same challenge. In Congo, you know, the penetration rate of the mobile phone is something around 80%, 80%. So everybody has a telephone. So now the challenge is, how do you, for instance, in Congo, we are releasing the 3G, we are releasing the first 3G network. But 3G is just the beginning now. When you think about the scope of the large access, real broadband. So we have a lot of challenges. For instance, the cost of the mobile terminal. It may sound nothing, you know, when you are in Europe, but in Africa, if you want to authorize, you want to allow the people to really use this, the terminal, the tools, the application, you need to find a way to, accessibility to those terminal broadband. It's a challenge. What kind of content? What kind of application? Do we have to take the content that we find, for instance, YouTube, Twitter? It's great, but how can we adapt to the African level those kind of content? We don't necessarily want to share the same content, that United States of America or France. We want to adapt our own content, and these are we perceive a lot of opportunity. And as a regulator, for instance, we are actually having a kind of program with students in order to take the student where they are in school, to show them the trend, the future. Look, you are doing some study in France, in Morocco, wherever, in Congo, but you don't necessarily know what is coming next in the future. Congo has put a lot of money in infrastructure. Services will come, but we need to find the skill. People have to be skillful. We don't find the skill. And this is really a big challenge for us, And, these are just challenges that we have. Find a good resource, find a good application, the good content management system. This is really the key issue that we have. And also just another details. And Congo is not the only one on that point. We are building infrastructure, but how do we manage this infrastructure? Broadband network, okay, who's going to be in charge of managing, of maintaining? There is, in many African countries, this is really the key issue also. You want to have people who have skill, who have experience, who have customer service approach in order to exploit, to maintain, to manage those infrastructure. And we are fighting, we are fighting with some other institution in the company, in the country, who is going to manage. Do you have what it takes to manage? I do. No, you don't have. So it's many challenges, but good challenges.
You're a regulator, and regulators at some time or another in their lives rub up against the government. Is there a legal framework in place to make that experience better than it might be otherwise? In other words, how well do you get on with the government, and how do they treat you?
Well, the ARPCE in French, the current regulation in Congo was being created 2 years ago, not even 2 years ago, in November 2009. So less than 2 years ago from now. We have that advantage that Congo was one of the latest countries to set up in place such an independent and autonomous regulation authority. In Congo, specifically Congo Brazzaville, please, the regulation is really independent. It has really its independence. It's supported by the president himself, because the president wants to really have a kind of regulation who is completely independent of the political power, and has the resource that he needed in order to perform his job. So actually in Congo, we can say that we are really independent. We are really doing our mission independently of the political power. But of course, the minister is in charge of doing the reglementation, and the regulator is in charge of doing regulation. In many countries, it's always everywhere. It's fight. It's always difficult. But in Congo, it's okay. And it depends also on the leadership of the people. And the Congo is a particular case. Why? Because I'm coming from the private world. I used to be a CEO of a telecom company myself, so I used to be an entrepreneur. So when I come to regulate, I always have the business perspective. It is not only about putting tax and penalty because you didn't do this and this, just like I see in other countries. No, you need to understand the market. You need to preserve the market. You need to make the market grow. You need to make sure that all the players, they are making money. So, the regulator has to protect the customer interest, the state interest, and the operator interest. So it's a very balanced position. It's I love what I'm doing. I used to be on the operator side. Now I'm on the state side.
Can you tell us one thing that you think needs to happen if we're ever going to get any closer to achieving the goal of providing more global citizens with more meaningful access to connected technology?
In Congo, we have many people coming from school, but few of them, they are qualified to do the job. For instance, if Ericsson is hard recruiting, they don't find people. So the education system is, for me, the key. Because at the end of the day, it's about people, and at the beginning of the day, it's about people. People well-trained in ICT, in telecom, in technology, they would do the best. This is really I don't want to talk about technology, because technology, you always need people. And this is really my heart beating about people. People being trained. So if, ITU, for instance, you can set up in place some kind of program. This is what we're doing, to help the African or to help the global people to get trained so that they will go back to their country and they will just do what they know what they know to do. But if they don't know to do, what do you expect them to do? So it's really about training people, really training people.
Yves Castanou, thank you very much.